Hi everyone, this is AJ Timbs from the Den of Timbs here, back again with another episode of Epic or Trash. And this time around, I'm going to adjust my chair so that way I'm not sitting on the edge of it. We're going to be discussing the legal mindset. We posted a video about, let me check the video question here. Pokemon company's insane lawyer exposed. Why? Oh boy, this ought to be good. This really ought to be good, because I saw this title. I was looking around for another video, because I recorded a bunch of these, and I was looking for another video to react to, and I saw this and I went, yep, this is definitely the one to react to, because this is going to be good. This is going to be real good, I can tell. Let's go ahead and start.
Go in this interview. So it's been a long time since I've done a reaction video. This is long, and it may get to the point where I'm like, oh my God, we've had too much of this woman. I've only watched half of it, but half of it is more than enough to get enough data. So there's going to be some new stuff that I'm reacting to genuinely, but I watched half of it and I'm like, dear sweet Lord.
Oh boy.
I didn't need to watch anymore.
Oh boy.
There was nothing that was going to redeem what I saw. So we're going to watch this. I have no idea who Dick Shu is, and I probably need some Tylenol Americans to do some research on Dick Shu, because typically when people give fluff interviews, they're playing for the same team with Dick Shu. So Dick Shu and Jenny they're on the same team.
Please tell me I'm not the only one that was hearing Dick Shu. Please tell me I wasn't the only one. It sounded like he was saying Dick and Shoe in the same sentence. Please tell me I'm not the only one in the comments. My fucking immaturity.
You can tell it's not a hostile interview. This is a softball. They give a lot of signals to each other
really?
of, hey, we're on the same team. Hey, this is a friendly interview. This is not at all.
Okay, I can't tell. Is that Discord? Is that supposed to be Discord? Is that supposed to be Zoom or Google Meet? What are they using? And oh my God, those cameras suck. I'm sorry. Those cameras fucking suck. Even with this, with the weird, slightly glitchy background, I still look better than what the fuck's going on there. What the fuck is that? What is this fucking camera? What is this? What is this? Why do they have no color correction in their camera whatsoever? I'm sorry, that bothers me. When nobody puts a little bit of color correction in the camera, just a little bit. You don't need a lot. You don't need to oversaturate everything. Just a little bit of color correction, a little bit of lighting correction, like you see right here, and you look good. It looks nice. It looks professional. What the fuck is this? It looks like they just stuck their phone and fucking they got a 480p webcam and just stuck it right there on their monitor and went perfect. It's just like yay.
Oh my God.
Let's continue.
A hostile interview or something that's a real interview that we were asking hard questions. It's not Joe Rogan, right? This is like hey, come on here and we're going to softball.
Oh, a little more than that.
Joe Rogan.
Well, let me start by asking you, because everybody's slightly different, why you went to law school in the first place.
Okay.
What?
Okay, this is very important.
What?
This is a coded message. She's asking, why did you go to law school? The way that they answer puts them in the pro-DEI or anti-DEI camp, right? Listen to her answer and listen to what motivates her. Once again, I want to be very clear. I am very against racism. I am very against anything legitimate. I think if there's a legitimate claim, bring it to court, right? Bring it to court, lock the people up. Lock the people up if it's a crime, right? If it's a criminal act, go to the police, go to law enforcement. By the way, not the university, because the university honor code system is a kangaroo court. They can convict you of stuff with almost no due process. You're not allowed a real lawyer. It's just people's feelings. It's a bunch of kids judging you. It's kangaroo court. Kangaroo court.
Oh God. It's fucking kangaroo court. It's just based on people's emotions and feelings. Isn't that technically what the internet does? Technically speaking. 5 minutes of this recording. This is already the best thing I've ever watched. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, let's continue.
Go to a real court and file a complaint. So I have severe suspicions when people are like, well, we talked to the university. Well, the university is on your side to begin with.
Well, I started the way many Asian American kids do in college, studying a handful of sciences. So I started in cellular molecular biology, and then I moved to have a concentration in computer science. And somewhere along the way, I got involved with our Asian American activist organization at the university.
Stop there. Stop there. What did she just say? Our Asian American activist organization. So she called it an activist organization. That's a virtue signal, because these things are not necessarily activists. Once again, I had a very, I'll tell the story. I had a very close friend in Korea, very deep, near and dear to me. She's an extremely intelligent woman. She's extremely capable. She's pretty based, right? Head of her sorority, head of the Asian American Society, but they just did cultural events and parties and did cool stuff and fun stuff about Asian culture. If you've lived, I live in Asia, right? I love Asia, right? I love all that stuff. That's all great, right? But she slipped in the word there, activist, right?
That is not
a mistake.
By any stretch.
Let me tell you right now, guys, that is intentional. That is very, 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 very intentional.
University of Michigan. It was called the University of Michigan Asian Student Coalition. And it was my work with that group that actually ended up.
Wow. Oh boy. This is oh boy. Just oh boy. This is gonna be great. I can tell this is gonna be the greatest thing ever. This is gonna be great. Oh, help me now. What the fuck is wrong with these fucking people, man? What is wrong with these people? It's like, I just, I was like, I get involved with this activist group, and that's when I realized the world's in danger. That's when I became Batman. It's like, what are you, fucking Bruce Wayne over there? Did your parents get killed? What happened? It's like, I still can't get over the fucking kangaroo stuff. I talked to the university. Like, of course the university is going to be usually on the student's side. Why wouldn't it be? Because the student's paying them. It's like very rarely do colleges ever fucking throw the student out because they did something so horrendously fucking stupid. It's very rare that shit happens. Just, oh my Lord, have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Getting me over to law school, because what happened was we had a dispute.
So her activism got her into law school. So she came in as an activist. Once again, there's nothing wrong with defending against legal stuff, but once again, that's a job for law enforcement, right? Report that to law enforcement. You should not be once again, report it, giving over any evidence, right? Law enforcement. Is it a crime? Right? Someone said they practiced the podcast. It's possible they submitted questions ahead of time.
University, there was
okay, so I gotta be fair to the lady, right? I gotta be fair because when we're talking about activism, right? What kind of activism are we talking about? Because if you're implying that she's a vigilante, then that's a different story. But I'm not quite rolling with what he's saying yet, but I'm sure it's going to get more insane. If you couldn't obviously tell, I have not watched this video. The majority of my epic or trash videos, I have not watched the video ahead of time. So that way I give you a more genuine reaction to everything I'm seeing. And I'm not quite buying into this whole thing of like reporting everything to law enforcement and stuff like that. I get what he's saying there. I don't have a problem with that. I do think that maybe, just maybe, that when they're talking about activism, right? Like activism and doing stuff like that. I think what the lady's referring to is she's saying that she is a activist for her beliefs and how things should be done. Because remember, the law, as you, even you yourself, what's his name again? Legal Mindset have said it before, that there's two ways that the law is interpreted: the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. And so I'm going to be fair to her and say that I think we should talk about activism. She's talking about activism in the sense that she wants to get more Asian people, more of her culture into doing law, into practicing and being lawyers and stuff like that. Because there is a stereotype of Asian people being, and this goes for Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, and Korean. I don't remember if there was another one or not. But like, those are the ones I remember. And like, there's a stereotype in them that they're all either doctors or scientists, and they're great at math. There's not a lot of them are like known for being musicians, for example, or known for being lawyers, stuff like that. So I do think that at least not here in the more Western culture. Maybe in the Asian culture, it's different. It's a hell of a lot different. Obviously, it'd probably be a hell of a lot different. But that's not my point. The point is that I'm trying to be more charitable, and I don't think he's quite understanding when she says she's an activist. I think she's like activist for equality in that aspect for both Asian people and for women. And I am for that. I am for the idea of everything being equal and everybody should have an equal opportunity and anything they want to try to do, as long as it does not harm anybody's rights, as long as you're not stopping anybody from freedom, their liberties, and the pursuit of their happiness. If you're not stopping them from having one of those three, to live and to pursue their happiness and do as they want with their lives, as long as you're not trying to harm people, I don't see a problem with that. I think we should have more activists. We should help people more. But that's just how I am. That's just how I think and feel. So I'm going to be charitable her. But I do fucking love the whole kangaroo court thing. That was fucking great. This whole fucking rant about kangaroo court. Oh, God, that was great.
Event at a fraternity where a group of our cohort went, and they experienced some racial slurs at the frat. And our group engaged.
So they said they're not, she doesn't say what racial slur. She doesn't say what the frat was. And once again, let me remind you guys, I said this earlier, but let me say it again. One of the big things about Stop Asian Hate was they stopped that movement after people looked into the statistics. So who was it? What was it? What was said specifically, right? Now, let me be really clear. Real racism does exist. People do say racist things, right?
Yep, all the fucking
What
time.
exactly was it? What was the context, right? Maybe it was real, but the point is she's leading with it. It's very, very, very sus.
And so they organized a mediation between our group and the fraternity. And I remember sitting in that mediation and thinking to myself, I'm getting rings run around me at this moment. And
this is very non-specific. So she's giving, so this story is like some victim story that you'd make up in like a victim book where you're just making up a victim story, because she's not giving out specifics. She's not saying anybody's name. She's not saying who. She's not saying what. She's just saying, I felt like I had rings around me. She's talking about feelings. What do we focus on in the law? Facts over feelings. What are the facts here? I'm not hearing many facts.
Right. But to me, I feel like there's it's also possible, because I've done interviews before with people like that, and often they tell you just don't tell the details, like keep it vague, because you have to remember you are on YouTube, and you have to be careful with certain things that are said, because if you say certain words or phrases, it can get you in a lot of trouble. Even just heavily cussing can get you in a lot of trouble. So I know it sounds like I'm playing defense for her, but I'm trying to be charitable and assume that she's not actually as insane as the video title makes it seem like. But I can also understand that the law is based on facts, not feelings. However, feelings seem to play a very fucking big role, and I've noticed that a lot, especially here in the U.S. I've noticed that a lot. Because honestly, to be honest with you, you can't fully remove feelings from the human mind. You can't fully get rid of feelings in the same way. Because you can't expect people to be 100% logical. That's impossible. People cannot be 100% logical, because if they're 100% logical, then that also means they have no feelings either, which I think that's called a psychopath. But to my knowledge, even psychopaths have feelings too. So again, I feel like this is just meant to be jabs at her rather than like judging the situation for what it is. But I can also understand how this could be like a softball interview, because I've had softball interviews thrown at me before. So I get that. And usually when you're interviewed like that, you're told, hey, keep the details minimum. Don't say a whole lot. Don't try to add too much to the situation. Just keep the facts enough that the facts are there, but don't add too much. That's often, again, what I've experienced when I've been interviewed, and somewhat was what happened to me when I've interviewed other people. But that's besides the point. Let's continue.
This is once again, you have to pick these people apart. You have to pick up their lingo. You have to pick up what they do, right? It even looks like she's reading off of a script. If you look at her eyes,
It's possible.
She looks like she's reading off a script, right? He also kind of looks like he's reading off a script as well, right? They're not looking at each other. It looks like they're not looking at each other. Maybe it's just because it's like the Zoom call look. It looks like it's like a really cheap Zoom call. Maybe that's it. But it almost looks like she's got like a victim script that she's reading off of.
Victim script.
I don't like that feeling, and this isn't going to happen again. And right after that, I ended up chucking the science and signing up for law school.
Was that a hard decision, or not too hard?
Not that hard.
And what did you think of law school when you got there? Did you like it a lot, or were you?
Okay, at the risk of sounding like a complete tool, I loved law school.
That's okay. There are people who love law school. I think that.
I don't even.
No, there aren't. Now he's lying. Who loves law school? What are you talking about?
Think kids today know what it means when you say I was a complete tool. I was not a complete tool, but I loved.
Oh my God, he's completely lying. No one loved law school. Oh, he's felt it. He's felt it. He's fat. He's old. He's bald. His name is Review Tech.
Well, so how did you kind of migrate? I mean, obviously you went to law school. I assume you didn't know exactly what kind of lawyer you wanted to be. You somehow migrated into the world of intellectual property. Tell me a little about how that happened.
Well, my first job was actually at a large litigation shop.
What? Stop right there.
Wait a minute, what?
This is a big tell. This is a huge one. And this is one of the biggest problems, is that your first job as a lawyer defines you. My first job as a lawyer, like as a real lawyer, not for summer, not for everything else, right? But as a lawyer, was with helping big corporations like Universal Studios and doing property and real estate. And that affected the way I think about things, because in property, real estate, and with big business, you work on win-win scenarios, right? You generate win-win scenarios, you generate money. I care about money and making things profitable. I'm a transactional attorney. That's what I grew up as. That's what I grew up as, from a baby lawyer to a big lawyer, right? And then I went in-house, worked with big corporations, did regulation, did compliance, did a lot of other stuff. When you start as a litigator, right? Litigation, right? It sets you in a way where your mind thinks litigate. That is the last person you want at the head of your company.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. And yeah, that is very interesting. I had not thought about that at all. Like not even like a little bit. I didn't even think about that just a little bit. So that really does paint that in an interesting perspective for me. I wouldn't have thought about it that way, but that's actually kind of interesting, kind of fascinating. Very, very, very fascinating. Huh. Again, I wouldn't have thought about it that way. I would never have thought about it that way, but let's continue.
Every company I worked for that was sane. Universal was sane. Their general counsel was fine. They're kind of based, actually. Kind of a Chad. But that's at least the one I dealt with back in the day. I don't know if they changed now. But point of the matter is, they care about money first. They don't care about litigation. They want to avoid litigation. This person, because she's from a litigation shop, that means they focus on litigation, not a full stack law firm. My law firm did a bunch of things. They did bankruptcy, they did property, they did litigation, they did all sorts of, they would do your divorce if you wanted to. They did a lot of stuff, right? That's kind of what we call full service, right? She was focused on litigation. That puts a specific mindset and makes you litigation crazy. That's the problem here. That's a big problem here. Let's go.
A lot of insurance was involved because it was a product liability case that had gone on for years. And of course, the damage that had been done had continued over several decades. And so many, many insurance policies responded, or arguably responded, to the incident. So I spent a good chunk of my time doing complex litigation, which is really does, in the big firms, having an experience like that teaches you the mechanics. Gives you a really good foundation for the exercise of law. And of course, it's only litigation. Then there's many, many kinds of law, but it does teach you the rigor, and it does teach you it gives you the technical skill base. So after that, after being at Heller for about 4.5 years or so, intellectual property was hot and interesting. And if you've done, a fraud or contracts case, it feels very useful.
Okay. So she's into intellectual property litigation, right? Litigation. So part of what she's doing that really worries me, but she's setting herself up as I am a litigator who will sue people. What this does, what she's saying to the people out there, the DI, ESG people, is to waste money of the company. So what she's signaling is I am going to drain these companies' money, because all the litigation does is drain the company's money. And that's what DEI and ESG is really set up to do. It's not set up to help the company. It's actually set up to kill the company. It's like a poison pill. They plant it inside the company to kill a productive American company. When you want to kill a productive American company, a beloved company, a company like Disney that Walt raised, Walt will be ashamed of what happened today with the Disney company. You put DEI and ESG in it. You add DEI and ESG, and it, without fail, kills the company. Once again, the company doesn't die because they get a lot of injection of capital. There's a lot of mysterious money that comes into them. For example, government money. Remember during COVID, a lot of money came in mysteriously. They got all these capital injections. That's the only way they stay up. Without that, they'd be gone, because DEI killed the productivity of those companies and they killed their business model, right? But now we're on a turn where companies no longer have those cash injections, where DEI is being exposed. Shout out to Kirsha. She's done the Lord's work on this. And she's also talked about how they're trying to convert it to Bridge, and we can't let it be converted to something else or let the name change. Kirsha's done a great job on that.
But at the same time,
that's interesting. That's really interesting. I wonder what the statistics actually say about that, because it's one thing to make a claim like that, but it's another thing to back it up with evidence. And I mean, DEI in general, at least in my opinion with DEI, I've yet to experience DEI in a horrible light like that. Because I say that we should be diverse and be equal and inclusive with everyone. That's part of my core beliefs, especially as a Christian, is that everybody's welcome no matter what. However, I do think it is possible that the way it's implemented is not healthy and doesn't lead to a productive society. So that's, again, how I think and how I feel. That's not necessarily what the facts say. And I'm sure I'm going to get flamed for that one, but that's just how I feel. And again, part of my core beliefs. and part of the other thing is that when we like if we're gonna talk about video games for a second with like DEI, there was a lot of video games that had like DEI in it that absolutely sucked. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of fucking video games that absolutely fucking sucked balls because but I don't think that was DEI. That was more they just put people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing in positions of power, and those who actually knew what the fuck they were doing were like, what the fuck is this shit? And it just led to fucking mass chaos and well, obviously you see what happens when like the studio puts out the stuff like, oh, we think this is gonna be good, and everybody's like, what the fuck is this game? The fuck is this madness? Let me adjust the microphone a little bit. There you go. That's a little better. I don't think that it's really just DEI. Is more or less it's the fact that you're putting that people aren't educated like they used to be. Education is the problem. I don't think it's really DEI. I think it's more education in general, that we have an education problem. We're not really educating people anymore. We're just kind of throwing, because like you're not, because the thing about a lot of people aren't really sitting together and they're learning. They're not actually practicing what they're learning. They're just reading like, again, I'm going to school right now, so I can say that for certain, that like going to my school, I've learned a few things, sure, but most of everything I already knew. And it's kind of, and to me, and it's nothing against the school, I think it's just the way our education system is set up. It's so old, it really needs to be renovated again. And I really think the Department of Education wasn't helping because it was keeping the same system up. We need a new system, a better system that actually educates people, that actually teaches people, and not just being like and like again, like the whole participation trophy award thing that we had for quite a while. That was like, I don't remember that being like, what the fuck was this? Why are you getting like, I understand wanting to again get more people involved, but there's a better way to get more people involved and doing it that way too. And again, my point is that I think it's education that's the problem, not necessarily DEI. That it's education that's the problem that needs to be dealt with. But again, that's my opinions. I'm not stating it as fact. I am not saying anything I have as fact. I'm just kind of questioning that narrative a little bit. Just questioning it and wondering what the facts are. So if anybody wants to, and again, in the comment section, fill me in, feel more than free to. And let's get a little dumb for a second.
Oh my God!
There we go. Now let's continue.
Not particularly keyed into the times or the environment. And at that time, patent litigation was hot. Into what we used to call at the time soft intellectual property, copyrights and trademarks were just fun and interesting because they really involved people's creativity. So I came to Townsend, as you probably know, in 1996 and started working right away on mainly soft IP cases to begin with. I developed a preliminary injunction practice.
A preliminary injunction practice. This means she got used to quickly shutting people down. That's exactly the type of thing you'd file against the modding community or anybody else. So she pretty much perfected to stop the little guy, to stop people right away with IP, etc. Now, once again, sometimes these things are important, but
Okay, so now this is where I can see the insanity, because now this is where the insanity is kicking in. Now this is where she looks absolutely insane, because that's fucking ridiculous. And like, because like, again, I understand protecting your intellectual property, right? You gotta protect your intellectual property, otherwise people could just do whatever the fuck they feel like doing with it, and you could be on the hook for it. So I can understand that. Now, I'm not saying that happens all the time, but I can understand, again, if somebody thinks one way about your property and that's because some jackass stole your intellectual property and did stupid stuff with it, I can understand where you'd be like, hey, motherfucker, go fuck yourself. Go fucking with my property, right? I can understand that, but I don't understand I don't get the whole idea of just shutting down modding communities and stuff like that. Instead of working with the modding community, instead of working with people like that, I don't know. That's not it's not something I'm completely okay with shutting down, because I think, because in my opinion, the modding community keeps us together. It keeps it just, to me, it makes games more fun when you have the option to install all kinds of random mods and different stuff to make your game more unique and more interesting. But again, it's my opinion, my beliefs. I'm not going to say that I am 100% in the correct and that all of you must bow before my feet or I will brutally destroy you. It's like, it's not, I'm not saying anything like that. That's just legitimately, again, how I feel and how I think. I am not saying it's fact. But I do believe that now she's making herself look crazy, because this is fucking crazy. Because it comes off like she's just attacking everybody as she sees fucking fit. I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that.
Very concerned that this is the methods that she's looking at, because how many people have gotten a cease and desist, have gotten an injunction, have gotten some sort of court order out of nowhere, right? For what? Right? With no due process, etc. Right? Very concerning. Very concerning. But she talks about guarding creativity with preliminary injunctions. That's not what you're talking about. What we're talking about is killing creativity, because the real creativity are the people you're shutting down, like Pow World, like the modders. That's the real creativity. Your creativity is dead at the Pokemon Company International. Kabushiki Gaisha Pokemon, right? You killed it. Officer Jenny killed it. People like Officer Jenny around the world are killing creativity. They hate creativity. They hate fun. They hate fans. They hate you, right? We can't let the people that hate win, right? We're the lovers. We're the people that love Pokemon. We care about Pokemon. And we got to say Pokemon. We got to say Pikachu. Pikachu's in trouble right now, guys. Pikachu's in deep trouble, right? Like Giovanni's got him. You know, but we can say Pikachu. We can say Pikachu. We can redeem Pikachu. We can do it. We got to do it right. We got to go to the Japanese, the base Japanese, because they'll listen to us. There's some people out there, I guarantee you, there are some based Chads in Japan that'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, to Officer Jenny over here. And they will correct her, right? If she tries to mouth off to some of these Japanese people, I'm telling you right now, they're not going to take this Karening from this boba liberal who's trying to push DEI. They will not take that. I have many people I know in Japan, and so I know some people that I know people in Japan. That's cool. I know people in Japan as well, right? You know, once again, I've been there many, many times. I love Japan. I love the country. They're still very.
I just, again, I don't agree with the whole, because like, think about it. This is the same. I know I'm going to be tying into politics, but I've just got to say this. This is tying into like the same kind of narrative that was used against Charlie Kirk. Like, oh, they hate you. They do this. They do that. We got to get rid of them. We got to stop them. I hate that kind of narrative spinning. The better way to phrase it, like, these people do not care about you owning the product. Louis Rossman puts it better. These people don't give a shit about you or whether or not if you own the product. They don't give a shit about that. They'll fuck you over if it means they can make $1. And that's the rhetoric that should be used, because that's the correct rhetoric, is that they don't care about you as a customer. They don't care about you owning the product because it means they can make more money. That's the way it should be approached. So I don't condone the whole they hate you kind of mentality, because this is not necessarily they hate you. This is, we got to stop them because this is bad for our business. We need to make more money, so we need to stop them. And so that's the way they look at it. And so the way you should look at it is that they don't give a shit about you, so you should do what's legally necessary to fight back against them. That's where I agree with. I don't agree with the whole they hate you thing, because again, that was the same rhetoric that led to Charlie Kirk's death. And so if you want to be the people of love, you cannot believe that people hate you, and you cannot believe in hating people. Plain and simple. That's just how I am. That's how I think, and that's the way I interpret things. Again, like I said, I like Louis Rossman better when it comes to it because Louis Rossman explains it and puts it very clearly, and he doesn't give a fuck what people think, and that's why Louis Rossman's based. I don't hate Legal Mindset for this. I just don't agree with him here. A lot of this I don't necessarily agree with. I think it's meant to twist and make her look very crazy. When in reality, what we should be seeing, at least in my opinion, what we should be seeing is she's a lawyer who clearly only cares about making money, how she thinks the company should make money, which is shutting down modding community, stopping people from basically, this is a type of anti-consumerism that Apple did for the longest time, that Microsoft has done. Almost any corporation you can think of has done this. So I don't agree with the rhetoric he's using here. I think it's very dangerous rhetoric. I think it could go the Charlie Kirk route if we're not careful and we don't call it out sooner. That's, again, how I think. I am not saying he's trying to get anybody murdered. I am not claiming he's trying to get anybody murdered, just in case he wants to try to sue me. I am not claiming anything like that. I'm just saying I'm noticing the rhetoric between those two as being the same, because that's how I'm interpreting it. Maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but that's how I'm interpreting it. Anyways, let's continue.
Very, very old school in the way they do things, right? In their style. And once again, it's their culture. How can we say we're better than that? And that's the horrible thing about DEI. DEI says they're better than Japan. DEI thinks the DEI way is better than the Japanese way. You don't get to say that. You're a Japanese company. Follow an order, follow a hierarchy, stand in line, right? And once again, these people all talk, they act tough about, oh, I love culture, oh, I love this and that. He wouldn't make it a day. Officer Jenny wouldn't make it a day in a Japanese company, a Korean company, or a Chinese company. I know I know many female lawyers over here, right? I'm familiar with them. They don't act like Officer Jenny. She would not cut it in Asia at all, period. I can tell you that right now, as someone in Asia, right?
We were the plaintiff on our IP infringement cases, on the small ones, kind of what we would call the anti-piracy cases. Mm-hmm. But these were large copyright cases, and they were.
Oh, she
I love
gets excited about large copyright cases.
Yeah, now this is where it turns crazy for me. First, I got to comment on the guy going, It's like, you can clearly tell he doesn't give a fuck. He does not give a flying fuck at all. He does not care at all. He is like, yeah, It's like, oh my God, really, man? Like, you fucking try to at least somewhat care. Secondly, I dislike that she was getting like very happy about fucking big copyright lawsuits. Like, really, that's what makes you happy, is fucking suing people? Really? That's insane. That's what we call insanity. That is absolutely insane. Fucking, oh my, just.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
She loves them. She is litigation hungry for large copyright cases.
One of them was still ongoing
insane.
When I went in-house. So I had a soft transition. I was running the litigation, only running it from inside the company as opposed to from the law firm. So
this is the point. She had no transactional experience. This woman is unqualified for her job.
Oh my.
I'm gonna tell you right now, as a person who's worked in it, she's unqualified for her job. Let me say this the third time. She's unqualified for her job. Whoever hired this woman should be looked into. Japanese companies are looking at this. Who hired this woman? Why did they hire somebody who's unqualified? A general counsel should have transactional experience. If they do not, they're unqualified for the job.
Okay, yeah, now that makes more. Now it's making more sense why he would call her crazy. At the beginning, and even like again parts of it, I'm like, okay, I don't really see how this lady's insane. I mean, she sounds like any other DEI hire, and I don't know much about Asian culture, so I'm not gonna like shit on him for that. I know in the U.S. culture it wouldn't really matter. So what the fuck was the point of that? But when the moment she started getting happy about big happy lawsuit and just sue everybody and shutting down the mod communities and shit like that, that's when I was like, okay, yep, now she's fucking gone off the deep end. She is all the way off the fucking deep end. Oh my god. Just fucking insane. Woo! Just insane. Oh, good lord. She's yeah, she's fucking crazy. 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 That is fucking crazy. Oh my god. Just
Oh my God.
I just started moving into more and more areas. Then in 2005, we were preparing to launch the PlayStation Network, which of course is gigantic today. But at that time, we were putting together the legal framework for that. So I got tasked with that. And that really was an opportunity to conduct interdisciplinary examinations and to understand how the entire business fit together. Because the company had never been a retailer before. And that was its first foray.
When you took that job at Sony, you'd obviously end up spending a lot of time there. Did you have an idea of how long you were going to stay there? Did you think you would stay as long as you did, or what was your plan?
No. Prior to that, my stints, I'd been 4 years at Heller and then 4 years at Townsend. And I think the first time I looked up and looked at the calendar at Sony, I was 10 years in, and I was like, oh, whoops.
damn.
Those 10 years were some of the worst 10 years at Sony, and they were the 10 years where DEI came in. Just saying. Just a little comment there.
How was it working for a Japanese company being
that face right there? Oh, and look at his face right there. You can just see it right there. That is the face of I hate my life right there. That is the face of I hate my life right there. That is the face right there. He for this like past 17 plus minutes, he is just regretting this entire decision to react to this video, to watch this thing. He's like, I would rather be doing any fucking thing else right now but reacting to this shit. Because I'm sorry, this fucking cameras suck. Their cameras suck. Their audio is fucking, well, the guy's okay. The guy's got okay audio. She's got fucking garbage audio. What the fuck is that? What is that room fucking noise that's in the fucking microphone that's annoying the shit out of me? It sounds like she's fucking clacking away on the damn keyboard like that. I'm sorry for anybody's ears who just got violated, but like it just sounds like. Yeah. So, anyways, I was telling somebody about it. It's like, oh my god, that's fucking annoying. That is incredibly fucking annoying, and that hurts my ears. I'm gonna make sure to do some extra heavy compression to make sure you guys are not fucking, your ears aren't getting violated by that. Well, it just, I just, hate it. Oh, hate it. Hate every part of it. I hate every part of it. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that, oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Just.
Oh my God.
Now let's continue. Oops, click the wrong button.
I mean, obviously, was that a cultural challenge? Was that something you were used to? Tell me a little bit
Oh god, never mind. I take it back.
Not at all at Sony. They're for a Japanese company, they're quite forward thinking.
Who the fuck did the editing for this? Who did the fucking editing for this fucking video? I gotta look. Okay. Who the fuck did this fucking editing for this? This is garbage. Whoever was the editor for this fucking deserves to be fired. I'm sorry. They deserve to be fucking fired. This is garbage. This is fucking garbage. This is absolute fucking garbage. I hate this. I hate every part of this. This is fucking garbage. What the fuck is this?
Are they though? Or is that the agenda you pushed on them?
Felt it.
That part was not an adjustment at all.
Mm-hmm.
and no issues there. An extremely respectful company. They've been, dealing with, they've
Oh
had
my god, that fucking
American
keyboard's back.
CEOs
Oh my god, I hate
their
it.
subsidiaries,
I
American
hate
and
it.
British.
I hate every part of it.
And Welsh.
This is bullshit.
So they're very used to having American leadership.
What about the game? What about the gaming industry? You sound like you obviously work with them as a client. You knew something about it, but obviously you had to get a lot deeper into that space. Is that something you really enjoy? Do you like playing games yourself?
Okay, so you can definitely tell. Sorry, I had to pop my neck. You can definitely tell, like, based on where she's sitting, that the camera's definitely up here, somewhere around here, pointing down. Just the way she's looking up like this. So you can definitely tell. Let me make a big screen for you guys so you can see what the hell I'm doing. So you can definitely tell, like, the camera's definitely up here, kind of similar how but my camera's set to an angle pointing towards me rather than pointing directly at me. So, like, the camera's, like, definitely set up around here, pointing down. And she's using, obviously, the camera's mic. And I'm sorry, but the audio's so fucking bad. The audio's so fucking bad. That's killing me. That is fucking killing me. Oh my god, that is killing me. Killing me. Just killing me.
I mean, tell me a little about that.
I do, although I grew up, so the 3D game console generation came when I was just out of law school. So I didn't have a lot of time to console game, but, I grew up playing arcade games.
Fake gamer. It's fake gamer. We need, once again, yeah, this is a problem. She doesn't play games. She hates games. She hates games. I played arcade game. What the fuck is that? She doesn't even play game. Fake gamer, doesn't know anything about the actual product. If you are brought into if you're brought in a company, this makes me mad. If you're brought in a company, you should know about the product. At least know about the product.
Right.
Knows nothing about the product. It's a complete joke. This is a joke. It's a joke. You need someone who loves Pokemon, who knows Pokemon, who lives, sleeps, breathes, eats Pokemon, right? Nobody buys that. This is once again trap.
Losing his mind. Okay, so let me elaborate further on that then. Okay, so when my question to her would have been, okay, when you say arcade games, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like Jumpman / Mario, like the Mario Brothers? Or are we talking about like Pac-Man? What are we talking about when we talk about arcade games? Are we talking about Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Contra, I think was one. I think I don't remember if Doom ever got. It probably was a modified. There probably was an arcade machine that was modified to play Doom. Now I'm thinking about it, but I don't think there was ever an official one. But my point being is that, but if anybody knows if there's an official Doom arcade machine, let me know. I would love to see it. But what I'm saying here is that I don't think that's what I don't know what to think based on that statement that I played arcade games. It's like, okay, what kind of arcade games are we talking about here though? It's like, now this is why I hate the vagueness. I can understand not wanting to say racial slurs and stuff like that because that's only going to encourage people to fucking say it even more. Like if you tell somebody, I hate it when you say the N-word, and they don't like you, they're just going to say the N-word more because they know it pisses you off. So that's one of those where it makes sense to not say what the racial slur was to prevent people from saying it even more. However, I hate this whole fucking, when I played arcade mechanics and stuff like that. Well, okay, what the fuck did you play? What the fuck did you play? Are you going to tell me or not? Like, that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, you obviously didn't play or if you did, you only like maybe played it because your brother was playing or one of your sisters was also playing or somebody you knew was playing it and you just wanted to get in because you wanted to feel included. That's where I'm like, meh. And the fact that you don't know much about Pokemon, like that also is a bit concerning too. That you don't know much about the product itself. I mean, if you're going to work for a major corporation like that in those kind of higher up places, you should know what the product is, know like the history of it. And I can understand wanting to envision something greater and everything, but you should understand where it's coming from to understand where it's currently going, so you can make the changes necessary to keep the product alive. So that's where I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of now I'm not really liking her at all. I don't think she's good at all. That's just my opinion. Oh, it looks like that was the end of that one, so we can go ahead and end it there. But that was a good clip, all in all. That was a good clip. I wouldn't say it was a great clip. It's not an epic clip at all by any stretch of the imagination. I think it was just an okay clip. Just it's a little golf clap if it will play. There you go. It was a good clip, but definitely Legal Mindset has a lot better videos than that. I love his Fast Facts videos. Those are like, if I need to get some basic information on something real quick, I'll put that on and I will get everything I need. And if I want more detail, obviously I can go to other channels to get more detail, but I like him just for those quick Fast Facts is what he calls them. But so definitely check him out. He's a great channel. And with that, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more content from yours truly. Make sure you join the Patreon so that way you can, I'm going to get it pointed over to me eventually, so that way you can support the channel and get exclusive content there. And consider donating and subscribing so that way you will be featured on the channel, both from the live streams and the videos. And until next time, this is AJ Timbs from the Den of Timbs signing out. Have a great one, everybody. Have a great one.